All right. So let's start in standing in your mountain pose. So remember our feet out like this. We shorten our glutes and compress in the sacrum. So toes parallel. So you have a nice wide buttocks. And just take a moment to notice. If you're comfortable, keep your eyes closed. Otherwise, gaze cast downward at the floor. Take a moment to feel the weight in the feet. Maybe you can rock the foot from the right foot to the left foot and forward and back until you feel balanced. Big toe mound, pinky toe mound, heel. Almost like you're pushing the earth away. So send a little energy downward into the feet. Notice how that'll turn on some muscles. And then follow the breath upward to the hips. And just notice what you feel. I skip the knees, but make sure you're not locking the knees. Notice what you feel in the belly and in the lower back. Try to create a balance of length between the front and back body. Notice where your head rests relative to the spine. And you can imagine it like a balloon lifting skywards and the shoulders drawing away from each other so they align with the side of the body. And then just notice if your next breath was a little bit deeper, a little bit freer. And stay here, and you can practice your ujjayi with this nice aligned posture as I read a poem from Dana Folds. Try corralling a lightning bolt containing a tornado. Dam a stream and it will create a new channel. Resist and the tide will sweep you off your feet. Allow and grace will carry you to higher ground. The only safety lies in letting it all in. The wild and the weak, fear, fantasies, failures, and successes. When loss rips off the doors of your heart or sadness veils your vision with despair, practice becomes simply bearing the truth. In the choice to let go of your known way of being, the whole world is revealed to your new eyes. Dana Folds. Let's take a deep breath in together. And exhale, bring your hands together in front of the heart, bow your chin to your chest. Setting your intention to be open to your perspective. Allow it to shift. You can gently blink your eyes open, taking in the tips of the fingers and slowly taking in the room. And then let's release our hands down by our side. We're just going to do a little posture exercise. Most of us have the shoulders a little bit forward and the head a little bit forward. This is your computer position. So I just want you to come into that position a little bit slowly. First, let's just feel the arms. Notice how those pectoral muscles, pec minors, shorten. And then come into the opposite. Lift your heart and draw the shoulders away from each other and feel the back muscles engage. Lift the base of the throat up and back. Good. And then come into that position again. Let the chin reach forward like you're staring into a computer screen. Notice the very top of the back of the neck, those muscles shorten. And then retract and feel them lengthen as you come back and up. You can turn the palms out. Try not to let the front ribs open too much. Lift the back ribs as much as the front ribs. Hold and breathe. Just exaggerate that a little bit. Flip the palms, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Throat up and back. And then exhale. Release back to neutral. See if it's a little bit easier to stand with that nice tall posture. Just bringing more awareness into the body, front body. Tuck your chin in towards your chest. You're going to roll down. But feel that muscles in the front of the neck contract. Upper chest contract. Ribs pulling up and in. There's going to come a point where you need to hinge from the hips. So hinge from the hips and start to keep the contraction through the front body as you lower. And then when you get down as far as you go, let the head relax, let the arms relax. Take a breath in. And then exhale. Feel the lift of the belly. Press into the feet, the grounding through the feet. And now the back body turns on. Hamstrings engage. Feel the back muscles engage. And inhale. Find that nice tall posture. And just take a moment to feel that new awareness through the front and back body. Inhale, bring your arms around and up. If you're not at the front of the mat, step to the front of the mat. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, bring your arms around and up. Feel the side body lengthen as you reach those pinkies high. Exhale, hands to the heart. Root down through the feet, and then inhale, a little standing back bend, but keep your front ribs pulling down towards your toes. Exhale, soften your knees, dive forward, reach for the earth. Inhale, lengthen halfway, shift the weight forward into the toes. Exhale, fold, tuck your chin in towards your chest. Again, inhale, lengthen halfway. Navel supports your back. Shoulder, collarbones are spread wide, so the shoulders still reach away from each other. Exhale and fold. Tuck your chin, bend your knees. Let's roll up one more time. Hollow out the belly. Feeling each of the back of the vertebrae open up, those facet joints. Inhale, roll the shoulders back. Just a few shoulder rolls here. Shoulders up towards the ears, all the way back behind you. Reach to the floor. So exaggerate the movement. Take it in the other direction. Shoulders back, up towards the ears and forward. Good. And now let's bring our opposites. One shoulder down, one shoulder up. So get the mind working as well. If it helps, you can bend, put a little bend in the elbow, like a slow motion jog here without the lower body. And then shoulder up. Just feel all that movement in the shoulders. Maybe feeling a little bit of, hearing a little bit of noise. It's okay. Inhale, stretch your arms around and up. Exhale, dive forward. Reach for the earth. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Step back, right leg and left leg into your plank pose. Pause for a moment. Then lower your knees and curl your toes under and rock back. So toes are all the way curled under. You feel a stretch in the arch of the foot. Inhale, come back up to hands and knees. Just take a cat-cow here. You can flip the toes and arch your back. And then exhale, hug your belly in and round. Inhale and arch. And exhale and round. Inhale. And exhale. Just do a little work for the hands. If it's too hard for you to do it with this much weight, just slide back. And we're just going to spread your fingers as wide as you can. I'm going to do it here. Spread your fingers as wide as you can and pull the fingers towards each other like a little tulip shape, like this. And we're going to push out. Now the out is very important because these are muscles that we don't work. And this is a wonderful exercise for carpal tunnel people. So you squeeze in, that's the exercise that we normally were gripping and grasping. But then push out using the resistance of your sticky mat and feel that stretch as the pinky and thumb draw away from each other. And you can do it fast or slow, just like a little starfish. I don't know what animal moves like this, but fingers spread away and back in, away, and back in. And then we'll root the hands down, maybe even taking a moment to stretch. Curl your knuckles, fingertips into the floor and peel up and back. Stretching the flexors and the wrists. Perhaps feeling how far up the forearm you can feel that stretch. And then come back into your hands and knees. Curl your toes under, send your hips back, stretch the arch of the foot. Lift up, come into neutral spine. Right heel up towards the sky, then out towards the right. And see if you can step your right foot all the way up towards that right pinky. And then pick it up, out to the side, and then back. Curl your toes, sink back. Come up, press your left heel up towards the sky, engaging your glute. Turn your left knee out in external rotation. And then step it towards your left pinky. Hug your belly in to lift, up and out. Internally rotate to come back. Curl your toes and sink back. One more time. This time we'll add on. Press your right heel up. Take your right knee out to the side. Step it towards the right thumb. So we're trying to get that core strength to pull the leg up. Hug in. This time inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Big stretch. Our legs a little bit out towards the side, but you can still scissor the right heel back, left leg forward. And let's just let our right hand rest on the left knee and reach as if there was somebody over there and you're trying to shake their hand. But meanwhile, hug your belly in. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, hands to the earth. Right leg up and out to the right. Internally rotate. Bring it back to meet the left. Curl the toes. Sink back. Push forward. Hug your belly in. Same thing on the left. Lift up. Out to the left pinky. Inhale, rise up. Stretch. Lift up nice and tall. Scissor the legs towards each other. Keeping the toes curled under. Left hand to the left knee and reach as far as you can while hugging your navel back, getting that stretch in your QL of that right part of the back. Inhale, lift up back to center, arms towards the sky. Exhale, hands to the earth. Left leg, pull it up, internally rotate, back to the earth. Take one more seat back, and then press forward and let the knees hover. Hold and breathe. So don't let try to find that neutral spine here. Press up and back, downward facing dog. If you need to walk your toes back, do that. Inhale forward into plank pose. Lower the knees, lower your chest and chin. Tops of the toes press down. Inhale, back bend. Exhale. Snake the heart forward and through. Exhale, release. Now focus again on that forward head posture by drawing the head up and back, not chin forward. That's what we do when we're at the computer. So lift through the back of the skull. Float your arms up, thumbs to the sky. Lengthen your tailbone. Pull your right leg an inch off the floor and lengthen. Left leg an inch off the floor and lengthen. Inhale, stretch your arms out and forward. Exhale, hands Draw back, belly in, push the floor away, and back to downward facing dog. Take a moment here to pedal out, bend your right knee, and bend your left, your right knee, and your left. Walk your feet up towards your hands. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Root down into the earth to rise up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Inhale, bring your arms around and up. Exhale, arms wide, soften through the knees, strong through the core. Halfway lift, inhale. Keep your shoulders wide and away from each other as the belly lifts. Exhale and fold. Take a small step back with your left leg for like a triangle forward fold position. It's a little bit narrower. Now you can soften the right leg, press into both feet to lift up. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Exhale, hands to the heart. So the hamstrings tend to be a problem for a lot of people, the tightness through the back of the leg. So we're just going to work a little bit on the strength and the release. So you might want to just turn your back foot out a little bit. We're going to focus on pulling that right leg back as we sit into the left leg. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sit into the left leg, pressing your right heel down into the floor and actively pulling it back. Now we'll add a little bit of strength here through that leg. Let's inhale, and we're just a soft bend in the right knee. Draw your hips back, keep your spine in neutral. So holding that eccentric length and strength through the hamstring, and then release and stretch. Reach forward, pressing into the whole right foot, and then back. Should feel a lot of work in the back of the right leg. Inhale, feel the strength. Exhale, stretching a little bit more. And one more time, inhale. And exhale, it's time to release your hands to your blocks or to the floor. Wrap your outer right hip back as far as it will go and come into a reverse triangle. You can bring your right hand to the sacrum or the right hand up towards the sky. You'll see that my hand is not here because then I rotate my hip. It's just reaching as high as I can reach it. Right hand to the floor, step your left foot to the right. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, fold. Just take a moment in your ragdoll. Just notice a little bit more awareness in that right leg. Bend your knees and roll up. Arms to the sky. Take a moment to sit into chair pose. Hug your navel back and in. And always have your hands at your heart. Armpits deep, ribs, front ribs smooth. Curl your sitting bones slightly under. Exhale, release. Hands to the earth. Inhale, lengthen halfway. And exhale, fold. Now step your right leg back. It's a little bit of a baby step. Root through the feet, soft bend in the knee to lift up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Now scissor the legs towards each other, bend the right knee and sit back. Feeling the stretch behind the leg. So it's that lift of the sitting bone, pulling it away from the space behind the knee. Sit back. And lift up. So let's add that little bit of strength, that eccentric strength. So we're still stretching, but we're adding a little bit of weight by reaching our hands forward. Hug your belly in. Reach towards that back leg and sit a little bit deeper. Good. Reach it forward. So coming a little bit out of that stretch. working the strength. And then sit a little bit lower. Scissor the legs together, hug your belly in. This you'll feel also in your back, in your erector muscles. And then release your hands to the floor. Left hand to your left side. Pull, lengthen that left outer hip back without losing the connection of the left big toe. And then the left hand comes up towards the sky. Hold and breathe. Release. Step your right foot to your left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Sweep your arms around and up. Exhale. Let's come into Surya Namaskar B, just following your breath. Inhale. Exhale, let your hands sweep down towards the earth and then forward as you draw your hips back for a chair pose. Now gaze forward, but watch that jutting chin. Hug your navel in more, curl your sitting bones under, see if you can sit a little bit deeper. Hold for your inhale, lengthen your side body, lengthen your back body. Exhale, dive forward, reach for the earth. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Step your right leg back for warrior one. Ground down to rise, inhale. Root into the earth, inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, straighten the front leg. Inhale, reach. Gaze is up, left knee reaches forward. Left inner knee forward, left right inner knee back. Make sure you're not, make sure you've got the four corners of that back right foot equally grounding. One more time, exhale, hug your hands in towards your heart. Inhale, back to your warrior one. Gaze is up. Exhale, release. Hands to the earth. Downward facing dog. Shift forward into plank pose. Heart forward, tailbone back, belly in. Feel the quadriceps lift up, the navel lift. Go ahead and feel free to bend your elbows, lower down. Inhale, snake your heart through. Exhale, lower. One more time like that, inhale. Feel the equal press of the pubic bone and two frontal hip points. And then inhale, float your arms out into cactus. Reach through the inner ankle and press the pinky toe down onto the floor. Draw your elbows a little bit further back, just activating the scapula, hugging into the back body. And then release into crocodile pose. Bend your knees, little rinse from side to side. Notice how your left hip bone lifts off the floor and then your right. Make it smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller until you feel balanced. Stretch the legs out one more time. Cactus your arms. Inhale. Float your inner ankles up and back. Exhale your tailbone away from your lower back. Inhale, draw your chest a little bit further forward. Remember, we look for the extension in the thoracic spine, in the rib cage, not in the lower back. Hands to the earth, curl the toes, press the floor away, and come into downward facing dog. Take a moment to re-lengthen. Upper, inner thighs draw back. Feel that the side body lengthens. Right leg up towards the sky. Step your right foot to the right thumb. Back heel is anchor for warrior one. Ground down to rise up. Inhale. Right inner knee reaches forward. Left inner knee reaches back. Exhale, hug your navel and straighten that front leg. Keep the navel lifting as you reach your hands up and re-bend the right knee. So feel that it's right over. So you're feeling without looking at that right knee, that it's right above the right heel. Exhale one more time. If you need to, you can look. Knee right over the heel. Inhale, arms to the sky. Exhale, release. Hands to the earth. Step your left foot to your right. Drop your seat. Reach your arms back into chair pose. Hold and breathe. Feel your armpits are deep here as you lift your arms a little bit higher. This gives us a tendency when we have the arms overhead to arch in the back, keep hugging your navel in. Press the floor away, hands behind your head. Inhale, find a standing back bend. Draw your elbows away from each other. Exhale, take your right elbow to your left knee in chair pose. Inhale, all the way back up, hands behind your head. Exhale, left elbow to right knee. Inhale, all the way back up. Cactus your arms. Exhale, back into your center chair. Let the navel drive back. Feel the lift of the pelvic floor. Like you have your tight jeans on here and you're pulling your belly button away from your waistband. Exhale, hands to the earth. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Step back to high lunge, so left leg back. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Press your left heel into an imaginary wall back behind you. So that left leg is straight and strong and pushing back. Lift your belly, reach your arms high. Hold and breathe. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper. If you want a little pulse here, just feeling the stretch. Left inner heel reaches back. Right inner knee reaching forward. Exhale, release. Hands to the earth. Downward facing dog. Forward into plank. This time chaturanga into up dog if you're ready for that. Otherwise, back into cobra. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Hold and breathe. Maybe letting your head look right and left. You can always bend the knees here and focus on that length through the spine. Let's take one more stretch here. Just let your knees drop to the floor as you press the floor forward and then back up. One little knee drop to the floor, stretching the front of the arm, working your quads, lift up, left leg up high, step your left foot towards your left thumb, big step, bigger than warrior one, root down to rise up. Press your right heel back, imaginary wall is, your right heel is pressing into an imaginary wall. Lift your belly, and if you have a little bit more space, sink a little bit lower. Allowing the lower back to not compress, so navel lifting, tailbone dropping. Inhale, stretch your arms up. Maybe that little pulse. If your arms are tired, you can always just bring your hands to your heart. And we'll bring our hands to the floor. Step your right foot to your left. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. Sweep your arms around and up. Exhale, hands to your heart. Take a moment to pause. Arms to the side. Head lifting like a balloon. Maybe the breath is just for the moment a little bit faster. Root down into the feet. Push. Soft knees. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, draw your seat back, navel in. Back into your chair pose. We'll end on this time. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhale, lengthen halfway. Strength through your core, your back, your front. Release, hands to the earth. Right leg back this time. High lunge. Inhale, arms up towards the sky. Press your right heel back. Exhale, float up, warrior three pose, or you can just have the arms out to the side, bring the weight over the front leg. Try to square your hips to the floor. Spin your thumbs up. That right hip wants to go higher. Release down, warrior two pose. So you always see me do a lot of wiggling here. I like to find the right alignment. This is typically cute as heel to arch. I get a little bit more heel to heel. Root down through the sitting bones. Lift your left side waist. Drop your right sitting bone. Deepen the crease in the outer right hip. Hold and breathe. Ground down into the feet. Pressure right thigh back. Maybe give just a little bit of feedback. Right hand behind the right thigh and push. Root down through your left big toe. And against the resistance of the sticky mat, left heel pushes towards the right. Reverse your warrior. Inhale. Tailbone drops. Exhale, cartwheel your hands to the earth. Step back dog pose. Forward into plank. Come halfway down. Chaturanga from the knees or from the toes. Draw your heart through. Inhale. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Let your head hang. Take a moment in this somewhat of a resting pose. Press your arms forward. I know that to some it doesn't feel like a resting pose. This was a hard pose for me in the beginning of my practice. Try to get more strength in the legs. Send those inner ankles back from the top of the flesh of the top of the foot. We're pressing back. Don't worry about the heels coming to the floor. Right leg up towards the sky. Step it to the right thumb. It's high lunge. Inhale. Left heel is pressing back. Right knee forward. Float up. So you can just stay here or take that little walk in. Warrior three. Airplane your arms, spin your thumbs up, belly in. Take a moment to just feel that little bit of a give and take of that right leg finding balance. Step your left foot back, cartwheel your arms out, warrior two pose. Left hip drops, right belly rises. Shoulders away from the ears. Inhale, grow taller. Imagine that helium balloon of the head lifting up. Slightly scissoring your right heel forward. Maybe the left hand comes behind the left thigh. Press it back. Inhale, reverse. Reverse warrior. Exhale, cartwheel your hands down to the earth. Spin on that back toe. Back into your plank pose. Chaturanga. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, knees to the floor. Take a moment to come into child's pose. Deep breath in. Letting go, exhale. If you want, you can walk your hands back. Let your head rest on the floor. Okay, let's come up for rabbit pose. Just grab your heels, roll up onto the part line. If you had a middle part, let's say, a little bit, just a light amount of weight on the top of the head. And you can uncurl the toes and sit back. Press your hands into the floor and roll up for Virasana. Interlace your hands, knuckles to the floor behind you. Lift the heart. And then exhale, walk your way all the way back forward. All the way down onto your belly. Root through your forearms, elbows under the shoulders. Press your palms down for Sphinx pose. Just retract the head back. Pull your elbows back. Lift your belly. Hold and breathe. Good, then curl your toes. Lift the back of the neck. The space between the two shoulders. Follow that up into the middle of the spine, lifting, lifting, lifting. Keep your butt, don't lift your butt too high, but press down into the fingers and the toes. Hold and breathe. Hug your navel in, but keep a neutral spine. Front ribs pull towards the toes. Good, and then release. Back into your Sphinx pose. Rotate your right forearm in. Roll over onto your left side. So option to bend the knees. Let's all bend the knees for our first side plank. Just float that left leg up. Keep hugging your right elbow in towards your right knee. We spend a little bit less time on these muscles on the side, and if they're strong, they'll help solve a lot of problems with lower back pain, with hip pain. So bear with yourself here and hold for another moment. Right elbow pulls towards the right knee. Good, lower down. And just try that on the other side. We are going to come into that again. So, but first we'll be doing it from the knees. Left forearm at a 45-degree angle. Lift your hips. Wrap this left shoulder back. Just hold and breathe. So I want you to feel the work of that left knee pressing into the floor like you're trying to widen the left leg into abduction. This is abduction. Oh, let's lift that top leg. I forgot that. So both legs are working this outer hip muscle, your glute medius. Hold and breathe. Got it, now release. Come back to center. Inhale, find your Sphinx pose. And I want you to come back into that knee, either the knee position, or you can do it from your forearm plank. So either you roll, start from the knees and just come onto your knees, or you come onto that, keeping that bottom leg lifted. So this is a little harder. Hold and breathe. If it's really hard to do this, you really do need to work your outer hip muscles. Right shoulder pulls towards the right outer heel. Come back to your forearm plank or just to your Sphinx. Either one is fine. So to come up without having the knee on the floor, I like to do that from your forearm plank. So your knees are already off the floor. But if you want to just come on to roll on and do it from the knees again, it's fine to do it from your Sphinx pose. Roll onto your left side. Left shoulder pulls back. You don't have to lift the top leg. Ooh, so I can feel this side is weaker. It's harder on this side. Hold and breathe. I'm gonna keep my leg down. Good. And release. Oh, I hope I didn't short that side out, but mine was actually shorting out. So inhale, we always have to listen to our bodies. Little breath in, elbows wide, slide your hands back, hug your belly away from the earth, press up and back, downward facing dog. Take the right leg up towards the sky, step it towards the right thumb. Walk your hands around to the left side. for Prasarita Padottanasana. Toes are pointing a little bit inward. Inward, lengthen halfway. Exhale, fold. Hands to the hips, elbows to the sky, lift up. Spin your heels in, toes out. Inhale, arms up. And exhale, lower. So we'll do a little bit of work for now the inner thighs and quads. Hold for a moment here. Wow, and we'll just hold this position while I'm going to stretch a little bit through the neck and shoulders. Reach your hands behind your back, roll your shoulders up and back, hug your belly in, and see if you can just hold your fingertips or maybe even your whole fist over in your right side. Inhale, lift tall, shoulders draw away from each other, and drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Sink a little deeper. Press your heels just a tiny bit forward, tailbone down. Look down towards your right knee. Press it back. Let your head roll towards the center of the chest. And then straighten the legs. Release the arms. Inhale. And exhale, come back down. Hands come behind your back, opposite interlace of the fingers. Knuckle over towards snuggle it into your left side of the waist. Throat up and back. Shoulders draw away from each other. And let your left shoulder get left ear heavy towards the left shoulder. Maybe sink a little bit here. Feel those inner thigh muscles working. We're reaching the knees away from each other. Pressing into the inner and outer edge of the heel. Big toe mound, pinky toe mound. And drop your chin towards your left side of the chest. Slowly let it roll towards center. Lift it up, release the arms. Inhale, come up. Exhale, hands to the heart. Good. Just take a little bit of a bend in that right knee and reach the left hand down. Reach it up and over. Little bend in the left knee. Reach your right hand up and over towards the floor. And up and over. And back to center. Let's heel toe the feet. Not quite all the way together, so we can come to the floor. Malasana. Drop your seat. I'm a little bit wide here. Walk my heels in. And do a little wobbles from side to side. And then release. Seat to the floor. Cross your right shin over your left. And let's just press the knees a little bit away from each other and draw a little circle. Okay, and right hand on the right knee, left hand to the floor. Just try to push the right knee down a little bit away from you, just getting a gentle traction through that right inner groin area and the right side of the back. You can rotate your chest a little bit more towards the ground, feeling a little bit more stretch to the outer right side of the back, maybe obliques. Good, and then lift back to center and rotate, bring your left hand to the right knee. Inhale, get it a little bit taller. Go ahead, unwind. Stretch your left leg out. And let's do another side rotation. Bring your left hand underneath your left shin or Achilles. And then just come into that revolved Janushirasana, turning your chest towards the sky, pulling a little bit more length through your left side waist. Hand behind the head, press it back, belly in, and then reach through the elbow. Option to reach for the toe if you want, if it feels good. This feels better for me. Good. We'll slowly come out of that. And now fold your left foot in front of your right. We're going to just draw those circles out of the direction. So leaning towards the left knee first. Let your shoulders move, let your spine move. Good. And then push away, push that left knee away. Root down through the right hand and lean over to the right. Deep breath in. It's not a hard push. Rotate your chest towards the floor or just see where the stretch feels best in your body. Go ahead and gently come out of that stretch. Take your right leg out. Turn to face the left knee. Right palm slides underneath, grabbing the Achilles or the back of the calf. Rotate your chest towards the left. Left hand behind your head. Hug your ribs in. Lift your back ribs towards the back of the skull. And then reach your left elbow a little bit more. But then still, make sure it's not all in this front rib lifting up, but lift those back ribs. Oh, I forgot a twist. Okay, let's gently release. You can just keep your legs where they are. Just forgot this rotation towards the side. So gently rotate. And stretch your left leg out and come into Upavishta Konasana, wide angle pose. Hold and breathe. Kick your heels down into the earth and slightly towards each other. And then walk yourself back. Slide the legs together. Big toes can press into each other. See if you can get space between each of the toes. So it's an active spread of the toes. Ball mound of the foot reaching forward. Press your thighs straight down. Maybe pulling a little bit of that flesh back so you can really feel the sitting bones and find a natural curve in your back. Inhale. Paschimottanasana. Or Dandasana. This is Paschimottanasana is when you fold forward. Inhale, lift your back ribs. So a great exercise for the knees, for the legs, just keep pressing the thighs down to the floor. And we'll come into Paschimottanasana, fold over the legs. Feel free to have your hands on either side. Don't pull yourself into this pose. Good. And then walk yourself back. Let's slide the legs back towards you. Hands behind you. Resist the hands forward as you lift the heart. Exhale, round. So it's like a seated cat-cow with an emphasis on that chest stretch. So I'm going to push my hands on the sticky mat towards my heels, widen through the collarbones, open the chest. And then soften. Now push straight down into the parallel feet, into the hands, and come up into table pose, lengthening your tailbone. Root down through the hand, the whole hand. Root down through the feet, lengthen the tailbone. If you're comfortable, the head can drop back. Otherwise, you can keep it in that straight line or even look towards your knees. And then slowly release. Float your feet up. You can use your hands for a moment here. Scoop your belly in. Just start to curl your fingers forward for Navasana. Keep hollowing, keep pulling the belly button away from the waistband. And then hands behind the knees, tuck, and do a little spinal roll forward and back. Good. A little bit smaller. Hug your knees in. We're going to hold onto our knees close to the chest and do a spinal rock onto your right elbow, so side to side. So you can use your left elbow to keep you from falling all the way down, and you can use the elbow to help rock you back to center. And then come back. Just take a moment to pause. Stretch your arms and legs out into a star shape. Need a little bit of space here. So inhale, reach through the fingers and reach through the toes and feel your back muscles contract. Good. So you might even feel your face muscles contract as you really stretch. And then relax that. Slowly let your belly button start to sink towards the floor. Let your hands roll towards each other on the floor until the backs of the hands come to touch. And once again, squeeze those chest muscles. I'm keeping my head on the floor this time. And then inhale, let them open as your arms come out to the side. Press the backs of the hands into the floor, float the chest up, little back bend, contracting your back. Exhale, soften the back. Float your hands towards each other. Backs of the hands touch. This time let your chin lift, squeeze. So the front body's contracting, chest muscles contracting, like we did in standing, those postural muscles. Inhale, let your palms float up towards the sky. Press the backs of the hands and lift the heart. Little back bend. And then release. One more time, stretch your arms overhead. Find that little back bend as you reach through the fingers and the toes. And then exhale, recoil back into center. Walk your feet in towards you. And just do a regular arch and flatten. So arch, the belly button lifts, and the pelvic bowl tilts forward. Flatten, belly button presses into the earth, and the pelvic bowl spills into your abdominal area, tailbone lifts. Inhale, arch. Exhale, and flatten. Bring your arms out into a T shape. Walk your feet a little closer together and cross the legs, nice and tight, like a ladylike position. And we're going to let our legs drop over towards the left side slowly. And then push back up so the right leg engages. And then come down a little bit further this time. Slowly. Push the right knee into the left shin to lift. And then just notice what muscles are stretching as you lower slowly towards the floor. Don't have to come all the way down. Push up, feel those outer hip muscles contracting that we worked in our side plank. And then slowly feel that stretch. It's a little bit more through the front of the hip. And then back to center. Now just change the cross of the legs. Take it over to the right side. A little bit down, press up, engaging the outer hip. Slowly feeling what muscles stretch. And then lift. Press into the right shin with the outer left knee. And then just a little bit deeper into the stretch, hug your belly in. Keep both shoulders on the floor so the knee doesn't have to come down to the floor. Good. And then come back to center. Uncross the legs, straighten your left leg. Hug your right knee in towards the chest. Inhale, reach your arms overhead. Feel your back arch. Now exhale, come into the flatten with the legs stretched out. So try to pull your belly button down towards the floor. Exhale, hug your right knee in towards the chest. You'll feel your back flatten. Inhale and stretch. Feel your back arch. Hold it here, relax your arms and your legs, but try and pull your belly button down towards the floor. Hug your right knee in. Just draw a little circle. Maybe just with one hand gives you a little bit more room to massage that right leg into the right hip socket. And then let your right toes touch down on the left side. Just the toes touch. Both shoulders are on the floor. Now lift the right knee up. Again, contracting through the outer hip. And then slowly let it release. Lift the right knee up. Just a few inches. And then slowly bringing that somatic awareness to the outer right hip. Releasing those tight outer hip muscles, your glute medius. One more time, lift up. And slowly close your eyes and feel what's lengthening as you let your toe touch the floor. Good. And then we'll hold that stretch coming into figure four. Slide your, knee in towards you. Pay closer attention to the time. We'll just do a quick figure four here, and then we'll come into the other side. Sorry about that. Hug your left knee in, right leg out. Inhale, stretch arms overhead. Natural arch in the back. And then arms relax, legs relax, pull your belly in. So it takes a lot of core work to kind of get your belly button to press down, and it might not even come close. Because of the tight muscles in the front body, front of the hips. Exhale, hug your knee in, and inhale. So just finding this practice of awareness, becoming more in connection to the body, to the muscles, to feeling. Exhale, knees in towards the chest. Let's bring the arms out to the side. Tap your left toe down towards the floor. Okay, just a few lifts here. Lift the left knee. Feel your outer hip muscle turn on. And then slowly lower. Lift up. Feel the muscle engage. Eyes are closed here so you can really pay attention to what you feel in the outer left hip. Feel it release. Feel it lengthening. One more time, lift it up. And then slowly let the toe come towards the floor. Feeling that lengthening. Come back onto your back, slide your right knee in towards the chest. If you want to and have time, you can do those movements a little bit slower, especially if you have back pain or outer hip problems. Hold and breathe. Arms and legs towards the sky, wiggle the fingers and the toes.
articulate through the ankles and the wrists, the toes, and the foot. Shake it out and release into your final resting pose. As we come through our practice with the attention to detail, we are in the moment, present to sensations, opening up to a new perspective, a new pathway. Honor that each of our paths have been different, so our perception of each and every event is shaped by what we've filtered through our minds throughout the years. Take a moment to let go and breathe this moment as new, without any judgments or restrictions from the past. Just allowing grace to fill your body. Releasing anything from the past that doesn't serve you. Each breath is a gift. We breathe in. We can choose to see it in this way. We can choose to breathe in love and light. Exhale, go deeper. Take a moment to wiggle your fingers and your toes. I think we'll finish this on the floor. Just bring your hands, one hand over the heart and the other over the other hand. Just breathing in infinite love and gratitude. Infinite love and gratitude. So just wiggle your fingers, roll over onto one side if you're still with me. Slowly making your way back to seated position. Take a moment to notice how you feel. Hands together in front of the heart, chin to the chest, sealing our practice in gratitude for connecting to that infinite love and gratitude. It's my honor to teach you. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste. Thank you, guys. Have a great day. Take care. Bye.